on my list, Fernandez Arms. It's run by Roberto Fernandez. They are headquartered on Centurion. I do have a photograph of him, but it's from someone's personal family album, which I would not leak to the public without their permission. On a daily basis, I talk to his grandniece. They manufacture quite a lot of the guns that are used in the breakaway. Not so much the ones used on the battlefield. They manufacture the ones that are used by civilians, predominantly. I haven't delved into those memories very much, just I wanted to bring them up. That's about all I have to say so far.
Okay, thank you, John. I'm still trying to search for that article, but
I think it was in our personal text messages.
Oh,
on your phone.
But I would have posted the screenshots. I thought. Then I would have had the screenshots. I'm going back to your old interviews.
They're on my wall.
Okay, so if I go to your wall, then I can find it?
Yeah, should.
Okay.
Unless Facebook took it down, but I don't think they have.
Okay. Well, just keep talking about it while I'll go look for it.
Yeah. I can pull up the list, just in case.
Okay. Oh, you have, okay, that would be good. Yeah, if you could give us the list.
Yeah. Chase Bank, or JP Morgan Chase, they're a banking and investment conglomerate here. If you look at their logo, it's an obvious swastika. Did you find it on my wall?
I did.
Okay.
I'll bring it up now.
Okay. That's good. Here, we'll go through it in the list that the pictures show up.
Okay.
Chase Bank, they're the financial arm of Nachtwaffen. They're running the finances of the breakaway. So people out there who have bank accounts, they have Chase Bank accounts. People with credit cards have Chase Bank issued credit cards. All of that sort of thing.
So, but you would think, John, they would have free energy, they have re-aging technology, med beds. Why would they need to have banks and credit and all that?
Nothing is entirely free, James. You have to pay the people that you get your materials from. You have to build these things, and you have to have materials, and you have to be able to pay the people you get the materials from, and all of that.
So it's going to be a couple more 100 years before we have our Star Trek future? Probably?
Probably, yes.
Okay.
Entirely Star Trek. I think we're about to get some parts of it.
Okay. But we have Citgo Petroleum Corporation, so why would we need petrochemicals out there and they have free energy?
They don't. I listed right there, Citgo out there, they're into asteroid mining. For particularly diamonds, which are used to make bladed weapons. That's my alter Adam had a boot knife that had a diamond boot knife, which is quite a thing to build a bladed weapon out of because it is sharp as hell and it's indestructible.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, and then there's Heckler and Koch. It's a German weapons manufacturer, and that actually exists here and are here now.
Yes, all the ones on this list can be found with a simple Google search.
So they manufacture plasma weapons and energy weapons.
Yes, they do.
So let's just hit up some of these because I know we're getting as we approach the 2-hour mark. I kind of want to let's just wrap it up. So music, yeah, go ahead.
Record label conglomerate involved in the theft of music from assets. This is a thing I think we'll get into more probably on the show with Christy, actually, which is in March or April. I can't remember when, but it's a lot of the popular music of today. A lot of it was written by assets, particularly at Montauk, but also in other programs, stolen and funneled into the music industry through Warner Music Group and through a couple of other companies I talk about on this list. Mondelez, they make food replicators. I think Ashton has talked about this too on his shows with you. They make the crappy ones. They make the ones where it tastes like what you put into it. And I don't want to be too graphic, but I think people know what I mean.
So they would take the poop at the bottom of the processor and put it into the food. Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. No, it's okay. I don't mind. And it still pretty much tastes like that when it comes out. Yeah. That's what Mondelez replicators are like. Apparently, there's another company I can't remember the name of that produces higher class ones where it actually does come out tasting real, but I don't personally remember that. And so it's not my testimony, so I won't talk about it really.
Okay.
Caterpillar. They make mining and construction equipment here. One of the things they make is tunnel boring machines that are used to build out dams. You won't find this on a products list if you look at a list of equipment they make, but I know people who have seen it, who have worked in Caterpillar manufacturing plants, and who can tell you, yes, they make tunnel boring machines that are then shipped out to military bases, usually, or to other companies that have no business owning tunnel boring machines. Okay, what's next? You're muted, James.
I'm sorry. I know. I was trying to find. I have so many windows open. I wanted to comment. I was in the house of the owner of Caterpillar here in the southeast, and she the lady here, the wife, they had Andy Warhol paintings in their kitchen, and I was actually working to help in some of the landscaping, and they had a pool in their backyard, but they wanted to move it. But it was an in-ground pool, so you can't just move it. So they had to tear it all up and put it in another spot. And then they also have this tent. They wanted to put like $100,000 tent for this party. I mean, I'm just, I still consider her a princess, but I guess she had that kind of money. Things kind of, reality's a little different. But let's hit up the next one. All right.
Leica camera, they're in Nachtwaffen. They have cameras sold to Nachtwaffen for spying use and for just documentation. Like when you go into the academy and get your picture taken in uniform, it'll be with a Leica camera. Samsung, this is an interesting one. They produce satellites for inter-colony communication. And of course, these colonies are usually in different star systems. So what do? They actually set up a wormhole between the two and put the satellite right next to it and broadcast the signal through there. So there's a whole network between colonies of wormholes so that people can make phone calls and whatnot.
You would think they would just use quantum entanglement. Just go outside of space-time.
That would be a whole... That's not efficient or really feasible for your average person to do on a daily basis when you want to call up your grandmother and see how your grandmother is doing. Or whatever,
Okay. All right. So
Mars Inc. Yeah, they make Mars bars. And they do have a branch on Mars, which is interesting. I've been to actually the city on Mars where their manufactory is, and supposedly that's where the Mars bar was actually invented. I mean, who knows really? But
are there any cities on the surface with a dome over it where you can go outside and be in the sun, or
no, it's underground. There are some little facilities, like scientific facilities on the surface under domes, but not cities, no, that I can recall, at any rate.
Okay, go ahead.
Aegis, they make smart suits. I'm not the first person to talk about this, but, yeah, just they make the smart suits that people always talk about. Not too much to say. Raytheon, they manufacture defense grids for breakaway planets. I have since, going into my memories, remembered they also have one around this planet that, it's a laser grid that protects from orbital bombardment. So anything smaller than probably a number of miles in diameter is not going to make it through that. It'll be disintegrated instantly when it hits that laser grid. So maybe people will sleep a little better at night knowing that.
So that's what Star Wars was about, right?
Yeah.
They said they actually did do it, but they maybe just told us it wasn't really done, or they ran out of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Northrop Grumman.
Yeah, they make interstellar cargo ships, which are cigar-shaped. So sometimes when you hear people talking about these cigar-shaped ships, that's what they're seeing. You're not seeing alien ships, people. You're seeing Northrop Grumman cargo ships. Subaru. Small spacecraft for personal civilian use, so like little family-sized spaceships. Which, by the way, those are not within the realm of most people's affordability. Even in the breakaway, most people still cannot afford that. That's still a luxury item. But it does exist.
Huh. So interesting. So if we do a Freedom of Information request for Subaru ships, I wonder what, I don't know. You know what, John? Let's do a call about that. Let's see if we can do a FOIA on that. Or FOIA.
That would be cool.
I'll pick your brain. So let's go to the next one.
It's China National Petroleum Corporation, oil and gas, but they also do asteroid mining like Citgo. And yeah, just I've seen their mining ships out there. I don't know really about the particulars of what the company is into. Just that I've seen them out in asteroid mining areas. Kodak. Interplanetary surveillance equipment, yeah. These are like spy cameras. These are little tiny robot spy cameras that are capable of going into space and orbiting a planet, or even going into a planet because they're so small they wouldn't be found on radar, and taking pictures and beaming it back to whoever is doing this spying.
So even though Kodak is pretty much a dead corporation on planet Earth, it's still got operation off-world.
Oh yeah.
All right, BlackRock.
Yeah. They handle off-world real estate for people. There's all sorts of things they're into. Most of this, of course, is stolen land. So it's not honestly gotten gains when they sell these rich people a house on some planet. It's gotten through dishonest means.
Certainly, that's probably Pacer money too that they stole.
Yeah.
The Pacers.
Yeah.
Okay, so BMW.
Yeah. Bayerischen Motorenwerke AG. They also produce all-terrain vehicles for exploring on the surfaces of planets. They produce desert vehicles for Mars. They produce jungle vehicles for Centurion. You name it, they got it, pretty much.
Thank you.
Chiquita. Yeah, we talked about Chiquita earlier.
So they have plantations probably on Centurion, all throughout the breakaway.
Yeah. Yeah, they have one. Their biggest one is on a moon of Corellia, which we've talked about, I think, before. And there was actually a documentary about it in the 70s that kids in the breakaway will watch in schools. It's called Corellia, the Fruit Basket of the Southern Sky. And it's because Corellia is in the southern sky. It's in one of the stars in the Libra constellation.
And so Corellia itself was also inhabited, or was it?
Yes, but the moon is where the Chiquita, the massive Chiquita plantation is, and they grow all sorts of fruit there. Some you can find here, some you cannot. Some of it is totally just alien fruits.
John, do you think there's fruits out there that have like a complete protein profile, so you won't have to eat meat if you wanted to be vegetarian?
Could be.
It'd be awesome if we could get access to the breakaway for people out there. Feel bad about that, because I know that in the breakaway they didn't really, meat was kind of a luxury item for some colonies.
Yeah. Studio Ghibli, they produce anime both here and out there. They make really, really good anime too. I'm not at all an anime person, but I do really like Studio Ghibli.
So let's be careful what you say about this one, because
we all know what they're into down here. People, don't get James in trouble by saying something that he'll regret in the comments section. Okay, be nice. We all know, but out there, and well, even in here for the projects that are here, they make healing nanites for the battlefield. You might carry like an EpiPen type thing full of them, so that if you get shot, you could inject yourself with that, and it would patch up your wound long enough for you to finish the battle and then be put into a regen tank. And you can tell that they're from Moderna because they very conspicuously put their label on it. So yeah. And then Arasaka we've talked about already at length.
Okay. All right, so let's go to the next one here. So that was Janis Joplin.
Okay, I think you're flipping the wrong way.
I have to go this way now. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, Capitol Records. They're a Montauk shell company, or they were, and they would steal music. A lot of the music that came out of Capitol Records or artists associated with Capitol Records is stolen from Montauk.
So Montauk would look into other parallel realities and get music and bring it back, or
that, and they would also have their people there on base writing music and steal it.
Okay.
Nestle, yeah, they produce non-perishable food for long journeys in space. So while there is FTL travel, sometimes that's not even enough. Sometimes if you're going to like across the galaxy or something, even then, if you're doing that, even FTL travel will take you years.
There are some missions that last that long, more than 5 years sometimes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know, like the Alien movies featured that, right? With the Nostromo was in stasis, and interesting. So
Nestle makes the food that people take on their ships when they do that.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, it pretty much tastes like plastic. I guess it pretty much is plastic, just edible. Well, edible.
All right. So let's see here. We have a Nintendo.
Yeah. They make virtual reality devices and programs for virtual learning. It says, like for in schools in the breakaway, a lot of the learning is VR, and it's Nintendo makes those. So Vanguard acquires land for colonies, often by force. Okay. They use most of the time neutron bombs. They drop them on a city. It'll kill everything that's there, but it won't damage the structures or the material at all. And so they can just kill everything there, wait a few days or weeks or whatever for the toxic whatever to clear away, and then go move in. And it's really quite easy. That's a common practice. That's what a lot of colonies are. A lot of colonies, they weren't built by the people living there. They were built by an alien species, and the humans just did that and moved in.
And is there some cases where whole species were wiped out?
I'm sure. I have no doubt.
Wow. This is what the white man did to the Native Americans.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Okay, guys, if you own Vanguard's mutual funds or whatever, maybe you should move your funds somewhere more equitable. But the same.
Yeah.
Okay, let's quickly get through this so we can finish this up in the next 4 minutes, hopefully. So we have top Boeing.
Civilian interstellar transport ships, yeah. If you're not rich enough to afford a Subaru, like I mentioned earlier, you go on one of these. It's like how you go on a commercial airplane if you're not rich enough to afford a private jet. PepsiCo, yeah. They make drinks that have nanite enhancements off planet that can give you telekinesis, increased strength, languages. Yeah, my alter, he had to learn Russian, and he was not inclined to take Russian classes and all that, so he just drank one of those, and the minute it entered his metabolism, he knew native level Russian. That would be really handy to have around here. Yeah, it would probably solve a lot of our problems as a species if we could just drink something and we're instantly able to communicate.
Did we just go over capital?